ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇਖੋ ਪੈਨਲ ਕਾਫੀ ਵੱਡਾ ਆਇਆ ਹੈਗਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨੌਜਵਾਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। We got some distinguished guests also on the panel today. If you are watching this right now, I honestly urge everybody to please share, let others know to watch Sky channel 748 C channel live with the Sikh Youth Show. Deepa Paji is kindly asked me to host this particular show because everyone's on the, as you can see, the panel behind me. This is going to be live right now, Satsang Ji, and we're going to be talking about 1984. This is 6th of June. Everybody knows what happened in 1984, 6th of June, and this is exactly what the whole show is about. Sardaar ji paid ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਸ਼ਹੀਦਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਹ ਸਾਰੀ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ। And a couple of announcements just before I start the show and give a chance to everybody to let everyone know to watch. You can ask any question on 1984. Anything. Are you for, against, whatever it might be, any question that's in your head, someone's asked you, you want to ask it, this panel here will answer this question live. This is the whole point of this Satsang, is to build bridges, make sure everyone understands exactly what is going on. And ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਾਫੀ ਮੰਗਦੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦਿਖਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਮੈਦਿਕ ਦੇ ਨੰਗੋ ਸਮੈਦਿਕ ਵਿਖੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਬੈਨਰ, 4 ਬੈਨਰ ਲਾਏ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਅਤੇ ਅਮਦਾ ਮਸਟ ਵੀ 25-30 ਫੁੱਟ ਦੇ ਬੈਨਰ ਹੋਣਗੇ। ਬਾਬਾ ਥਾਰਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਹੀਦ ਪ੍ਰਣਾਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਭਾਈ ਅਮਰੀਕ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੂੰ, ਸੰਤ ਜਰਨੈਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਜਨਰਲ ਸੁਬੇਗ ਸਿੰਘ ਹੋਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਹੀਦੀ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਣਾਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ। ਇਹ ਬੈਨਰ ਲਾਏ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਇਹ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ, ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਰਮਿੰਘਮ 'ਚ ਖਾਸ ਰਹਿਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਹੋ, ਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਬੌਬੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਲਵ ਯੋਰ ਪੋਸਟਕੋਡ ਦਾ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ, ਉਹਦੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਲਵ ਯੋਰ ਪੋਸਟਕੋਡ ਆ, ਉਹਨੇ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਮਿਸ਼ਨ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਦੀਪੇ ਹੋਰਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਕੇ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੌਜਵਾਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਹਨੇ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਣਾ ਕੈਂਪੇਨ ਬੋਰਡ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ। Every electronic screen in Birmingham had the image of Sanji and Baba Thara Singh Ji, Pai Amrit Singh Ji Honi. So this is absolutely a massive project. So we need to ask these things. What was their inspiration behind this? And what we'll talk to the panel. But just before I do all that, I've given you a couple of minutes now to let others know to tune in to Sikh Channel Sky 748. Any question regarding 84 will be on. You can ask us and we'll ask the panel live here, live and direct. And ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੋਈ ਖਿਆਲ ਹੋਊਗਾ, ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੋਊਗਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੁੱਛਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਸੰਤ ਜਰਨੈਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਕਿਉਂ ਅਸਲੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਤਖਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸੀਗੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਹਥਿਆਰ ਕਿਉਂ ਸੀਗੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਥੀ ਕੌਣ ਕੀ ਸੀਗੇ, ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੋਇਆ, ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਸਵਾਲ ਹੋਵੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੁੱਛ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ। ਟੈਕਸਟ ਨੰਬਰ ਸਕਰੀਨ 'ਤੇ ਆਊਗਾ। ਐਂਡ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਯੋਰ ਸ਼ੋਅ। ਸਾਸੰਗ ਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਲਾਈਵ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਦੇ ਬਾਹਰ, ਅਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ। ਇੱਕ ਪੈਨਲ ਹੈਗਾ ਅਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ 10 days of terror ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਹੈਗਾ ਵਾ ਬੈਨਰ ਥੱਲੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਹੋਏ। ਪਰ ਫਸਟ ਵੈਰੀ ਕੁਇਕਲੀ, ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਫੋਨ ਆਏ ਹੈਗੇ, ਟੈਕਸਾਂ ਵੀ ਆਈਆਂ, ਸਪੋਰਟ ਵੀ ਆਏ ਹੈਗੇ। ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਲੀਡਸ ਵਿਖੇ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਸੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਿਸ਼ਕਾਮ ਸੇਵਕ ਜੱਥਾ ਦਾ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਅਟੈਕ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਕੋਈ ਪੈਟਰੋਲ ਬੰਬ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਇਨਸੈਂਡਰੀ ਡਿਵਾਈਸ ਵਰਤਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ। ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਅਸੀਂ ਲਾਈਵ ਹਾਂ, ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਬੰਦਾ 40 ਸਾਲ ਉਹਦੀ ਉਮਰ ਆ, ਇੱਕ ਗ੍ਰਿਫਤਾਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ। ਸੋ a 42-year-old man has been arrested in connection to that particular attack. ਦੈਨ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਦੱਸਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਨਾਲ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਚੈਨਲ ਉੱਥੇ ਲਾਈਵ ਕਵਰੇਜ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ 1.5 ਘੰਟੇ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ, ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਈ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਸੀਗੇ ਥਰੂ ਆਊਟ ਦ ਲੀਡਸ ਏਰੀਆ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਥਾਵਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਇਲਾਕਿਆਂ 'ਚ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਪੱਬਾਂ 'ਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਜੇ ਮਾਲੂਮ ਹੋਊਗਾ, ਜੇ ਕਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਕਿਹਨੇ ਆਹ ਅਟੈਕ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਊਗਾ। ਅਤੇ ਉਹ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਵਾ ਕਿ ਕਾਫੀ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਗਏ ਸੀਗੇ। ਹੁਣ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਰਿਪੋਰਟਾਂ ਆ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਕਿ ਕਾਫੀ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਸ਼ਹਿਰਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਆ ਕੇ ਲੀਡਸ ਇਸ ਲੋਕਲ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਰਲ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਹਮਦਰਦੀ ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਕਿ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ। ਉਹ ਆਪਣੀ ਇਨਵੈਸਟੀਗੇਸ਼ਨ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਸੀ, ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਵਾ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਕਾਫੀ ਲੀਡਸ ਇਲਾਕਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਉਹਨੇ ਕੀਤੀ। ਅਤੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਰੈਸਟ ਸਾਡੇ ਸ਼ੋਅ 10:30 ਮੁੱਕਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ, ਅਤੇ ਸਿਰਫ 20 ਮਿੰਟ ਬਾਅਦ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਕਿ ਗ੍ਰਿਫਤਾਰ ਬੰਦਾ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ। ਅੱਜ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੇ ਐਲਾਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ 42-year-old ਨੂੰ ਗ੍ਰਿਫਤਾਰ ਕੀਤਾ। ਹਜੇ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਕੁਐਸਚਨਿੰਗ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ। ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਨਤੀਜਾ ਨਿਕਲੂਗਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਸੋ ਸਾਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਦਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ, ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਲੀਡਸ ਸੰਗਤ ਦਾ ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਥ ਪਿਆਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਹਾਂ straight to the show, so I wanted to announce that quickly. Now we got ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ 7 ਜਣੇ ਪੈਨਲ 'ਚ ਬੈਠੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਅਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗੇ ਆ। ਸੋ ਫਸਟ ਆਫ ਆਲ ਆਈ ਵਾਂਟ ਟੂ ਸਪੀਕ ਟੂ ਓਬਵੀਅਸਲੀ ਦੀਪਾ ਪਾਜੀ। ਦੀਪਾ ਪਾਜੀ ਦੀ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ every Wednesday night 9 o'clock, the Sikh Youth Show, and again today you got me hosting this, so ਅਸੀਂ ਖੜ ਗਏ ਆ hay fever ਪੂਰਾ ਜੋਰਾ ਸ਼ੋਰਾ 'ਚ। That's why we decided ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਆ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ on the pavement outside the ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ we'll do the show। ਸ਼ਹੀਦਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਣਾਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ। opening statement in regards to, first of all, the Gurdwara Sahib has decided to put these 30-foot banners, 4 of them outside, you know? What was the reasoning, especially in regards to this particular banner you had here? What is the reason you did this? While the questions start coming in, then I'll start asking questions. We've obviously got Sarbjit Singh, RajoanaTV, Bobby Singh in the house, Kam Singh, Kabir Singh, a couple of the guys that I apologise, but opening, Deepa, just what do you want to say to the Sangha just before we start?
First of all, thank you all for tuning into the Sikh channel. And as we always start, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Sikh Youth Show has been going on 2 years nearly, and each and every Wednesday we discuss the issues that are relevant at that time. And today, right now, what's relevant, we need to remember the date behind me is 6th of June, and that's what the date is today. And this is what we need to remember, what happened 34 years ago. So all the Najwan, we've got a panel together today, ready to give you some vachara on the truth about 1984 and why the importance it is for us to be sending this prachar out to the masses via the banners outside the Gurdwara Sahib. Look at just those banners was to send a message out to the public to say we're not going to forget our martyrs and remember them for the rest of our life, and to let others know that this is the Sikh freedom fighters who fought at that time. So we need to never forget them. That's why the campaign Never Forget 84 won't stop, and we will continue to do that. Hence, Bobby's on the panel, and he's continued the campaign Never Forget 84 on the electric boards and all the electric boards, electronic boards across the UK, not just Birmingham like you think, nationally, Edinburgh, Liverpool. So big, massive respect to Bobby, and thank him for taking out his time, putting himself and his business on the front line to do that, just like the Gurdwara, leading by example, putting the banners of the Shaheeds out there. It's had a knock-on effect. People are sharing the posts. Every day there's different ones coming up. It's fantastic. People are sending them from Liverpool, Edinburgh. So it's brilliant to get the messages in, you know, and to see who's supporting the campaign. Really, so the Prachar of 84 will continue, and it's important that we've got a great panel who can answer any of the Sanghata's questions. So just carry on, send your questions in, and let Kam know, and he'll bring them to us.
Yeah. So Sanghaji, like I said, this is going to be live, and it's your show. So whatever question you got, in the order you send it, it'll be on here, and I will ask that question. And I've already got 4 questions before, literally in the last few seconds while you'll be talking. So Sanghata are watching, and the first question, like I said, I'll go by order. So we'll go for the Bulla question, Kisiga. Is the referendum 2020 a waste of time and a sideshow given Sanji's button and the Khalistan Declaration on 29th of April 1986? Who would like to start with that one?
In my humble opinion, for me, I don't want to say it's a waste of time because there's a lot of Sikh who are putting their time and effort into it. But for me, I don't actually see the relevance of it when the whole Sikh Qawm rallied around Harmandir Sahib, risked their lives just to declare Khalistan and that we're free people. At the same time, we can't even have a proper election in Punjab due to all the corruption and all the drugs and all the alcohol that's distributed. So if we can't have a proper election to see who's going to be the Chief Minister of Punjab, how are we going to have a proper election to see whether we can have Khalistan or not? So I don't have any faith in that system, to be honest.
Okay. The next question is it's actually a question to Sikh Channel. My question, you requested some years ago, Sikh Channel, for everyone to come to June protest march, but this year you did nothing. Why? I hope you don't ignore my question, Bhajan Singh. So that's myself. I can tell you, Sangaji, Bhajan Paji, that ਅਸੀਂ Sikh Channel ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਗਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ. We covered the actual June rally. We did a 4-hour live on Facebook, and also we did a show on it on the evening and on Monday evening. So we, Sikh Channel, was present at the June rally Freedom March. So that's that one. Next one. I don't know. It says June rally. It says June rally. Okay, this is like I said, this is live, and it's going to be right how I read it. Okay, it has to be because I've got to give everyone a fair say. This is what the question says: in a democracy, was it right for Pindrawala to encourage youth to carry hatiyar, which resulted in arrest and long-time jail sentences and torture? That's exactly what the question says.
Repeat the question.
In a democracy, was it right for Pindrawala to encourage youths to carry pistols, which resulted in arrest and long-time jail sentences?
Okay, so we're talking about a place in India that had where it was safer to leave home and join an armed movement than it was to stay home. So when we talk about Santaji espousing youngsters to buy weapons and keep weapons, it was in actual self-defense. And if you look at the United Nations, everyone has the right to defend their own life. And there's countless human rights reports which suggest that police had major powers where they could just arbitrarily just pick someone up and make them disappear in the middle of the night, where they could forcibly make someone disappear, where they could just keep them in jail for as long as they want. There was no real law for us. So where there's no law, where the police, the people who are supposed to protect you, are the ones who are hunting you down, where the politicians who are supposed to safeguard you are making laws where laws don't apply to you, then what do you do in that situation? Do you accept your extermination, or do you do what Guru Gobind Singh Ji ordained you to do, which is to protect yourself? And to be honest, when we talk about Santiji using weapons, even if we look at the actual Operation Blue Star, I don't really like to use the term Operation Blue Star because it's the name given to us by our but it's a name devised by our enemy. But even, many people believe that the attack started on June the 3rd. The attack actually started on May 31st in 1984 when the Central Reserve Police Force took their positions around Harmandir Sahib and took pot shots at the Sangat. Scores were fatally wounded. For 3 days, Santiji didn't return any fire. Some people think Santiji was all about guts and glory, being the big macho man and firing back. Do you know how much restraint it took for Santiji not to fire back in 3 days? The reason they didn't fire back, number one, in true Khalsa tradition, they were given a chance to turn back. Secondly, under the command of General Sarbjit Singh, one of the greatest generals I think the world has ever seen, had said that if you fire back, number one, we've got limited and moderate ammunition. If you start firing now, not only will you expose your positions, but we'll waste our ammunition, which is what they want. So on the 3rd, this is why Santiji said when their boots land, that's when they should be carried in their own trucks. So when we talk about just carrying weapons, Santiji was very strategic, was very intelligent with it, and most of the weapons were licensed by the Indian government. Let's have it that way. Most of the weapons carried by Santiji were licensed by the Indian government, and not a single law was being broken by them. Not one arrest warrant for anybody that was in Harmandir Sahib at the time. So when we talk about carrying weapons, ask yourself this, look at the UK riots that we had. What did Singhs do the first thing they did? And the UK were lauding Sikh. Look at them, they're carrying weapons, not only protecting Gurdwara, but they're protecting shops and public spaces. So if in that environment we were being lauded for carrying weapons and protecting people, then man, when you're in a logoless jungle, then you know what a Singh does.
Thanks, Baji. Like I said, this is like Sar Singh at that question now. You can ask any question you want, and this will be live. And whichever side you on, you can choose, you can decide, and you can ask your question here right now. And I will ask them in the order I receive them. The question that follows straight onto this is actually to do with weapons again. Why was Sant Janel Singh Ji carrying weapons at the Golden Temple? Which can I just clarify something? We shouldn't say Golden Temple, Sar Singh Ji. It's Sri Harmandir Sahib. It was the name given by Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj themselves, and Sri Harmandir Sahib sanu akhna chahida wa. ठीक है? दूजा why were they carrying weapons at the Sri Harmandir Sahib? I want to say. It's going to... Deepa, come.
Okay. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. The question about why Sant Janel Singh Ji Pandrawale were carrying arms in Darbar Sahib and all the things that were with them is, first of all, it's our faraj to wear Shri Sahib. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj gave us kakar. If you look at our history, Shemi Pasha used to have rifles. Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji Maharaj, they didn't have petta for the Sawan. They weren't money-wise. It was horses and it was weapons. So Sangat used to bring in guns back in the times of Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji Maharaj. So things have always been tiyar bar tiyar. And the thing about a weapon is it's not just there to cause damage, it's there to protect yourselves as well. Not just yourselves, but others as well. And one of the main things that I will always remember what Santiji said, that someone committing a crime is a major sin, but someone who doesn't stand up against that crime is a bigger sin than that. So that's what we need to look at. We need to be looking at arming ourselves and protecting our brothers, our sisters, not just from the Sikh, for every faith. And that's what Sikh is about. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
When we look at Sri Akal Takht Sahib, we often go there and we do our matha take, and it looks beautiful. It's like, full of marble and gold, and it's decorated nicely, and we go there and we do a matha take. When Sri Akal Takht Sahib was created by Guru Hargobind Sahib, it was just a 12-foot thara, which is a block of stone. It didn't look beautiful. It didn't have any razzmatazz about it. It didn't have any airs and graces. It was just a block of stone. But it's what Sri Akal Takht Sahib stood for, which was Vaheguru's Takht. Guru Hargobind Sahib sat on that takht and said, anybody gets oppressed, then they come to Vaheguru's Takht. When all the takhts in the world fail you, then come to Vaheguru's Takht. And in order for a takht to be powerful, what did Guru Sahib create? They created the Akal Sena, which was God's army. And an army without weapons is not an army. Now, throughout Sikh tradition, this runs parallel. where we also do bhakti and where we feed langar to the homeless, then we also protect our own rights as well, and we safeguard ourselves, and we do that by using these weapons. So this is why there were weapons in Akal Takht Sahib. And what people don't realize is, before India went to war with China, before they went to war in Bangladesh, they went to the Akal Takht Sahib and asked for blessings to give us victory. So if it's all right for them to go in with their weapons and ask for blessings and ask for victory, then I don't really see what's the harm when a Sikh is carrying weapons. And the second thing is, if you know your house is about to be attacked, do you not fortify that place? Do you not protect it? Do you not arm yourself so you can safeguard it? Now, when Santji had intel that Sri Harmandir Sahib, Sri Akal Takht Sahib was going to be attacked, do you think they were going to sit on their laurels? Would they be any kind of Sant? So this is something that we need to ask ourselves.
This is the question, though. Why? But this is the thing: is they're carrying weapons. This is the reason why the Indian government attacked, though, because they were carrying weapons. This is why they entered Sri Harmandir Sahib on 6th of June, 34 years ago. That's why they entered, because they went to get Sanjanel Singh Ji, who was advocating this. And obviously, there's a democratic country, and they have laws and qanuns. So they're saying those laws and qanuns were broken.
Why would they? Can answer? Yeah. So why wouldn't they just to counter that? Why, if they were trying to send a message, there wasn't an arrest warrant. If they wanted to send a message to stop something happening, well, they couldn't. They could have shut the water supplies or the electric or something like that, just to send a warning. You're meant to send a warning or some sort if you're going on a qanoon, innit? But they didn't go on no qanoon, did they? Because they just entered the Barsahib complex.
Yep. And also, when it comes to the British collusion, when we looked at the papers, the SAS said that obviously we can't stand the fact that the British had involvement in this. But what they said was, we gave the Indian government advice that if you want to carry out this operation and you want to get Sant Jarnail Singh Khalsa Pindranwale, then carry out a clinical surgical operation, have people land from the air and do it cleanly and neatly. Clearly that didn't happen. And even now, just information has started to come out. When the Indian government said that, we announced to the Sangat that anybody who is part of the Sangat and wants to leave, then they can do. They can't trace the vehicle where that information was relayed to the Sangat. There is no time, date or place where that announcement was made. And secondly, you've just called Santji a terrorist, but have you convicted him as one? When was he given a chance, an opportunity to come out and fight his case? If you've got battle tanks, jet bombers, at what point is the man going to come out? At what point is the Sangat going to come out? When you've surrounded the whole place? So when you were talking about, and also, Santji, for me, and it's a bit of a contentious issue, but Santji was shaheed by June the 6th or 7th. The majority of the damage that was caused happened after Santji was made shaheed. So if Santji was your sole aim and target, Operation Blue Star should have finished. But they set fire to the reference library. There was BBR that were raped. There was babies that were thrown onto walls. Bibi Pritam Kaur had her son shot, who was 3 months old. Bhai Singh Ji Singhni was 7 months pregnant at the time. Busloads of children were shot at. And then at the same time, simultaneously, 40, 50 other major historical Gurukar were attacked at the time. Was Santji miraculously cloned, and was he sitting in each one? And the other thing was this: when you mobilize that much force, when you mobilize the world's third largest army to come to the doors of Guru Ramdas and Guru Har Gobind Sahib, when June the 6th, June the 7th, the attack actually, the military operation had stopped, the genocide had stopped, did those armaments simply turn back and go back to Delhi? Nah. For the next 10, 15 years, the streets and the fields of Punjab were combed, looking for youngsters that look like these guys here on these chairs, and just exterminated. Sanji wasn't around then.
What I'd like to add as well to Saab's argument is that Santji was shikaing Amrit all around Punjab. He brought, Sikhi element back into Punjab, and this was a massive threat to got people off drink and drugs. So obviously the money aspect, the monetary aspect out of Punjab was going from that side. He brought people back into Sikhi Sangat, and this is the biggest, factor for me. As why they attacked the Darbar Sahib.
Bobby, this is actually a question comes straight to you. Like I said, I'm asking the questions in order. This is your channel. You have to ask the questions. Whatever your questions are, you can ask them live at the panel. The question actually come to Bobby goes, what inspired you to set up these billboards across the Birmingham?
Firstly, single accept my fateh. Waheguru ji ka khalsa, Waheguru ji ki fateh. Look, the inspiration was always there. You know, Jodo, when your mother brings you to Guru Nanak Dev Ji Gurdwara Smethwick, Sada Pella Gurdwara, this is where I'm born and bred. And Prana Gurdwara Sega, the old building. And when we used to walk up those stairs, on the left-hand side, there used to be a hall. And inside that hall, when I was a little kid, there were Shaheed Singh's photos everywhere. And I remember this. It affected me as a child. You see all of these photos and you don't understand the brutality and the torture that these things have gone through. And your mother turns around and says, Ek then pote, I would be a very proud mother. These individuals have proud mothers. You know, these are Shaheed Singhs. As she started telling me things like this, she must have inspired me and must have put that little seed inside me that turned around and said, God, Mom, you know, what do I need to do for my mother and father, especially my mother, that will turn around and make her really proud. And then about a week, 2 weeks ago, I drove past GNG Gurdwara and I saw these, you know, beautiful, beautiful tasweera, and I looked at them and I almost crashed my car. And the reason for this is that was my jago. That was my wake up. What are you doing? Do you get me? So wake up and just ask yourself, if this can have an impact to you and you can crash your car outside GNG Gurdwara, what can you do with what you're doing, which is we've got a lot of digital screens all over the Midlands. What can you do? And I said, God, you know what? We can do something quite big here. So that was the inspiration. But I always knew that these digital screens would come into Sevadaar. Now, Kam, the other thing is, this is really important to point out. When we look at our Shaheed Singhs, we always look up. Do you agree or disagree? Like, we always say they are forever up there, aren't they? They're so high. So the nice thing about these digital screens are that they're huge, just like our Shaheed Singhs. They're massive. They're up there, so you look up at the sky. So it's that feeling, it's that emotion. So why do they not deserve that stage? They deserve that. And you know what? Guruji maybe asked me for the seva, but all I'm going to say here is I feel blessed to have done it.
I'm gonna basically. I've got a lot of questions. Start sending your coffee question. There, so please do keep sending your questions. We're live here at the moment, but I did say I'm going to go in order. But there's a couple of questions that come in while you're speaking in regards to your billboards. Actually, if you don't mind, I'll come back straight back to you. One of the questions they're saying is, why have you done Shaheed Singhs? Why haven't you done anything about the Sikh faith in regards to 3 principles of Sikhi? So, is that?
First of all, Kam, no disrespect. You know what? Who's sending these silly questions in? You know, what I want to say is, like, first of all, wake up, single, ask the relevant questions. Okay, go and ask your mom and dad if you need the answer for that one.
Okay, that's one way of putting it, but that's Tika, so that's one way of looking at it. So I thought I'd ask that question. So like I said, any questions you can ask. This only text only, so if you do call, it will be declined. It's only texts, so if you send us your texts, and then that'll be fine. So it goes, how do we explain 10 days of terror to our kids in a subtle way? They're 7 and 5. What they're asking. So we got youngsters that are asking. This is exactly. This is from pre-core. So, how do you explain this to the children, basically?
Repeat the question again.
Yeah, it goes, how do we explain 10 days of terror? Because this is the sign that you guys put up here to our kids in a subtle way. They're 7 and 5, and they are asking. So your kids asking, how would you explain that?
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I'll answer that question in a very short answer. Seb ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਖੀਆਂ ਦੱਸੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਿਆਣਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ I can't put it any politer than that. ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੇ ਲਾਲਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਕਹਾਣੀਆਂ ਦਿਖਾ ਲਓ। ਆਪ ਟੈਲੀ ਟੁਲੀ ਬੰਦ ਕਰੋ, ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜੋ, ਕੀਰਤਨ ਸੁਣੋ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਖੀਆਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੇ ਲਾਲਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਸੁਣੋ, ਆਪ ਹੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਊਗਾ। I can't put it any subtler than that. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਜੁਰਮ ਦੇ ਖਿਲਾਫ ਚੱਕਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ, ਤਲਵਾਰ ਚੱਕੀ ਸੀਗੀ। ਜਦੋਂ ਵੱਡੇ ਸਾਹਿਬਜ਼ਾਦੇ ਨੇ ਤਲਵਾਰਾਂ ਚੱਕੀ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਖੀਮਾ ਕਰਨ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਾਹਿਬਜ਼ਾਦੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਂ ਚੇਤਾ ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ। ਪਰ ਸਾਖੀਆਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਲਾਲ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਾਖੀਆਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਰੋ। ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ 84 ਦਾ try to keep it as gentle as possible, yeah, but the bloodshed, that's never going to go away. That's always going to be in our hearts. We need to tell
our Pachangi Singh from a young age what happened in 1984, and we need to keep the faith strong. We need to come to the Gurdwara and learn from Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj Sache Pasha. Why Khalsa, Waji Fateh.
Kam, that's a really good question that you asked there. I think you've got to measure the 5 and 7-year-old what they're able to accept. Yeah, if they have nightmares and wet the bed watching a scary film or a cartoon, then perhaps don't go into too much detail. Almost make it like a fairy tale. But if they're able to handle a photo or a picture, then you can show it. Look what my mother did to me. That's just one example. We saw something that couldn't even be explained in the 80s. And, you know, these images will be with me for life. They will be with me for life. One could turn around and say, God, your mother's, you know, ruined your way of thinking forever. No, she didn't. She did get up on me. She woke me up, and now I realize what my path was. So just take the measurement.
Just adding to that, how can you explain 10 Days of Terror to kids? So we do regular camps at the Gurdwara Sahib where we teach at different age ranges from youngsters from 5 up to the age of 18. So we spoon feed it at different age groups. One way we've done is by producing the Naujawan of the UK have got together a few organisations. Big respect to 1984 Tribute, Sikh Youth, GNG Smethwick. A lot of the orgs, never forget 84, they all came together and did a book called The Battle of Amritsar 1984 by on Sant Jarnail Singh. So these are going to be children's books and they've been released. They got released at Vaisakhi. You can more than welcome to get in contact. You can contact the Sikh Channel team. You can contact Sikh Youth UK, Guru Nanak Gurdwara Smethwick. Find out how and what happened in 1984. It helps you at a younger age. Another channel you can look at is RajoanaTV. It explains it in another way, which kids would understand as well. So there's so much out there. Another channel, basically Sikhi, they teach it. Just YouTube, some of the work that goes on online is more, you're more than welcome. You will find out, and that'll help teach the younger kids what it is. There's so much out there. There's no excuses not to know no more, to be fair. There's so much out there, but kids book was launched at Vaisakhi. Please get in touch. If you want to help teach kids, you can read that story to them.
Also, just to clarify, I've got so many questions coming here now. It's unbelievable, and I'm trying to keep track. And it's every time I'm trying to read one, you get another question coming through. So extend the show, but we're here live at the moment, so it's important that we answer as many as we can. I've got loads coming in, but let's just clarify. We don't promote the use of weapons or encourage that at all. Let's just clarify that also. This is at any point. Sasangaji, we're here live here at the moment on the Sikh Youth Show at Guru Nanak Gurdwara here in Smethwick. This is Deepa Sikh Baji show normally, and they've got a panel together here. They're asking questions to relay and talk about the 84 issue in regards to what happened really there. There's so many questions coming through here at the moment. Like I said, I'll go through exactly one by one. As you can see here, I've got so many coming through. I've got to try to keep track of where we were and what I'm trying to keep some kind of something going on here. Okay, so this is coming back from something to do with Bobby in regards to the billboards, where you put the billboards up, Sanji. There goes, Sanji has been formally declared as the greatest Sikh of the 20th century from Akal Takht Sahib, which is the highest supreme authority of the Sikhs, yeah? Can we ensure this is written under any advertising as a game changer? Because I believe that there's been something, you've had some people say that they're not happy with you advertising that. So what would you say in regards to that then?
So advertising what? Sant Jarnail Singh Ji picture. Waheguru, Waheguru. I want to know who these individuals are. Please do the kirpa. Do a little phone call to me. Let's give you a little bit of mat, and we'll just teach you what Sant Jarnail Singh Ji stands for.
Was the question? Could you put that under the banner? Could you? The greatest Sikh of the 20th century.
Could I put it under the banner? Okay. Would I like to? Shall I do that? Is that what you're saying? Okay, fine. Of course you can put it on. If you want to put it, we can put that on, that quotation. That's not a big deal. Listen, what we should be talking about here is the tasveer itself. We already know he's the greatest. No words can come close to how great he is. And nobody can turn around and break that in our hearts or make us think otherwise. The reason why this tasveer are up, somebody could have turned around and said to me, we want his whole history written on that digital screen. But listen, I don't know if you know the Love Your Postcode campaign. You know, if you don't know it, then I'll tell you what, a Sardarji, it happens to just be me. He twisted his moustache and he made everybody in Birmingham and the Midlands aware that actually Sardarjis are the greatest. We twist our moustache and great things happen. And then he turns around and he asks himself, actually, who are his superheroes? And Sant Janelle Singh Pindrawala turned out to be his biggest superhero. Now, I can't say any theft. I can't make him look any greater than what he is. So all I'm doing is putting one tasveer out there and you can do the quotations yourselves. Do you understand what I'm saying? The image is big enough.
Can I just quickly add something to that? You know, somebody asked the question that, you know, if a Gora is driving down and they see Parnam Shahid Danu, what does that mean to him? And you know what my answer was, why do we have to cater to interpret ourselves to everyone? Why can't it just mean something to us? Do you understand? Like, why do we always feel the need that we have to explain ourselves? Just have it, man.
Okay, just a quick one. The reason why we didn't go into explanation is really straightforward. It's very, very straightforward because on a digital screen, you go past so fast that actually you don't even have the time to read the message. The image is strong enough for what it is.
This one question is coming out straight. Could you explain what is Operation Woodrose? Like I said, Sasangaji, we're going to go in the order that the Sangha send a question, and that's the way we're going in. I think you want to do that one.
So after Operation Blue Star, like I said, all those weapons didn't simply just turn back and go to Delhi. They went to Punjab and they actually ethnically cleansed Punjab. So they targeted people who had Qadian, Dastana, Gatre. There was even an army circular called Batjeet where they described a terrorist as somebody who reads Nanak's Bani and wears a Dastar. So Operation Woodrose was basically, it was a fancy name to legalize our killing, basically. And what they told the police was wherever you see a Sikh, and especially DGPs, you know, people who were supreme commanders in Punjab police like KP Gill and Ribeiro, they were given monetary rewards, they were given promotions to see how many Sikh you could actually exterminate. So Operation Woodrose wasn't just a name given to our killing, but people like Joyce Pettigrew, who were like sort of external researchers, went in there and said that, look, for 10 years, this is a name given to the extermination of the Sikh youth. So that's what Operation Woodrose was.
Okay. Obviously, there's no one here from that side to answer that question, so we're live here. But like I said, there's never a call for violence or use of weapons. We can never encourage that or endorse that, and I should make sure that absolutely clear on the channel here. Also, coming back to the questions keep coming in. I'm trying to read them, and there's more than one keep coming in. I'm trying to keep track. You can see I've got two phones in there. Okay, why do you think is in Remember 84? Why do you think it's important to remember 84? That's what they're asking.
Why is it? The importance to me personally is because we haven't had no truth come out. So the documents that were released a few years ago from the British, which was secretly released, somebody found actually. What was his name? Yeah, he came to this Gurdwara actually. I've just forgotten his name, but he found the documents and leaked them. Okay, so for that sort of evidence to come out 30 years later, yeah, proves our point that we knew from the start the British were involved, and now when the documents are, the Labour Party themselves have said they want a public inquiry, so we want some truth. Sitting here in UK, we're living here, we're law-abiding people, and we want to know the truth why the British got involved with India at that time. Margaret Thatcher sat with Indira Gandhi, and they planned an attack 2 years prior to Sri Harmandir Sahib. So, you know, because there's no truth in the matter, we're going to keep remembering. But like we remember our great history, Baji was on about Shote Sahibzade earlier. We're not going to forget these great battles. This is one of the most recent battles. How can it be forgotten? I was 3 years old when this happened. You know, I remember my mother's tears when it happened. So we're not going to forget this. We're not going to remember and not forget that lightly at the same time. But we're going to continue that story and keep telling our ugly PD the truth and the Sakhiya. Kam?
So yeah, just extending on what Deepa was saying, how can we forget a genocide that's happened on us? That's the Tija Vada Kalukara that's happened on the Sikhs, yeah? And a thing about remembering your history is what you learn from it, so you prevent it from happening again. And that's the main reason why we will never forget. Same way the Jews never forget the World War is the same way the Sikhs, the Holocaust is the same way the Sikhs will never forget 1984. And we'll always tell our kids about what happened with us so they can try and prevent it from ever happening with us again.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਸਵਾਲ ਭਾਜੀ ਸੀ ਆਪਾਂ 84 ਕਿਉਂ ਨਾ ਭੁੱਲੀਏ?
84 ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਭੁੱਲਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ। ਸਾਡੇ ਸ਼ਹੀਦਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਕੌਮ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਖੂਨ ਡੋਲਿਆ ਹੈ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ। ਤੇ 84 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਨਸਲਕੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ, ਜੋ ਅਟੈਕ ਹੋਇਆ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ, ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਆਪਣੀ ਕੌਮ ਨੂੰ ਹਲੂਣਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੌਮ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਕੌਮ ਦੇ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਜ਼ਾਦ ਘਰ ਵੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਲਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਆ। ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੀ ਗੱਲ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਕਹੂੰਗਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ 2020 ਰੈਫਰੈਂਡਮ ਦੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਜੋ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੇ ਨੌਜਵਾਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਝੂਠੇ ਕੇਸ ਪਾਏ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਜਗਤਾਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੋਲ ਜੱਗੀ ਵੀਰ 'ਤੇ ਝੂਠਾ ਕੇਸ ਪਾਇਆ, ਆਪਣੇ ਵੀਰ ਜਿੰਮੀ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਪਾਇਆ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਵਿਦੇਸ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਾਂ 2020 ਰੈਫਰੈਂਡਮ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਡੈਮੋਕ੍ਰੈਟਿਕ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਜਦੋਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਜਾਣ 'ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਝੂਠੇ ਕੇਸ ਪਾਏ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਗੈਂਗਸਟਰ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਰਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਤਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਚੈਨਲ ਦੇ ਜ਼ਰੀਏ ਆਪਣੇ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਦੀ ਗੌਰਮੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਕਹੂੰਗਾ ਕਿ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਦਬਾਅ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰੋਕਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਬੰਦ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਡੈਮੋਕ੍ਰੈਟਿਕ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ 2020 ਰੈਫਰੈਂਡਮ ਦੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਪੀਸਫੁਲ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
So obviously the peaceful morche, like you have several porche in the Panthana, peaceful morche. Explain that to us.
Before explaining peaceful morche, you know why 1984 is still so raw to lads who are born in this country who weren't even there at the time, and you know we're in our 30s and 40s now. The reason why it's so raw, there's three elements why it's so raw. Number one is that nobody has been indicted. Nobody has been taken to court. Nobody has been given a sentence, whether it was Operation Blue Star, Operation Woodrose, Operation Shuddhikaran, Operation Metal, Operation Shanti, whether it was the massacres in Delhi. There's countless affidavits, there's countless witness statements. There's people who admitted to the killings. This KPS girl who said, yes, I've killed him, just once in Kala has found how many thousands of unclaimed, unidentified, illegally cremated bodies, and his work hasn't been completed. That's why it's raw to us. Secondly, the reason why it's raw is that, you know, if a family member passes away, like a bibi or a dadi, you know how hurt are we? We're doing a Kanpar Sahib in their name. We never forget that person. How do you forget people that were killed in the most monstrous way possible? Kids raped in front of women raped in front of their kids, men set on fire while the goons will do pangra on their lasha. How do you forget that? How do you forget whole generation? How do you forget cream like Sukhan Jinda Pa Amrik Singh? If they were alive today, what would the Naqsha Punjab be like? How do you forget that we've lost those Heere? How do we forget that we've lost one of the greatest sects since Banda Singh Bahadur, Sant Janel Singh Khalsa Pindrawale? How do we forget that? When they tell us to forget, they're even taking, you know the remembrance, the basic level of humanity. They want to take that away from us. And thirdly, and lastly, before Bobby speaks, the reason why we don't forget 1984 is because they don't bloody let us forget 1984. Jagtar Singh Joel, one of our lads born on this British soil, was just plucked and he's still rotting in a cell. Jaspal Singh was killed in a peaceful protest. Not a single person's arrested. Even as we speak now, there's Sikh locked in a Gurdwara in Meghalaya who are getting harassed and are getting oppressed by rampaging mobs. Who lets us forget 1984?
I think remembrance is a really big thing. It's a sign of respect as well. So, like, for everybody that's gone through the Kalukara and gone through all of this that by Sarbjit Singh has just explained, don't the Gore turn around and always have remembrance days when time stops and everybody has that silence? Now, there's a lot of things that are being said about these remembrances and going from Hyde Park to Trafalgar Square, the purpose of it. Well, you've got to really understand what is the purpose. Like, you need to research the purpose of remembrance and you've got to give your respect. Which other day of the year do Singhs get together from every single Gurdwara from, from England and come under one Nishan Sahib and show one ekta and unity and, peace and love on this world? I was in Chardikala on Sunday when we did that walk, and I think other Singhs and Singhnia should consider trying it, and maybe we can make this remembrance even more bigger and more significant. We need Chardikala Singhs to come forward and make this remembrance so massive that it's reported on the front pages of major national newspapers. If Gore can do remembrance on such a scale, then why can't the time stop for the Sikhs? Come on, wake up, man. I keep saying Jago.
Just going on what Baji said about the 2020, that's not going to help us. In my views and most of the Najwan's view, it's not going to help us. It's not going to get us nowhere. It's just diverting people into a corner where we need to really step up the Prachar, stand by what the Singh stood for, stand by the 1986 Sarbjit Khalsa.
Singh, I'm not joking. Look, other samne dikha dena. Text aa jandiyan. Every few seconds I'm getting so many texts. Sarsang ji, we've literally got a few seconds left on the show, a few minutes left, and I've got 17 unanswered texts on this one, and so many on this one. So I don't know how to do this, so they can't even extend the show because we're outside here live at GNG Gudra. There's a lot of questions. One thing's clear: there's a lot of questions that are coming through from several people that want to know more. So there needs to be more prachar on the subject matter. That's for fact, because there's something definitely out there and people want to know what's happening. Why do they carry in weapons, you said? But obviously we can never justify anyone using weapons, and obviously it's getting, obviously or get involved in criminal activity or anything like that. At the same time, encouraging violence, anything like that. And I know none of the panels obviously advocates that either. However, looking at Morche going forward, as for example today, there's one of the questions is, where's it gone, man? It was one of the first ones here. I'm trying to go back. I'm apologising because there's quite so many questions coming through. I don't know how to keep up with this. Something to do with people are signing, the MPs are signing a genocide book in Parliament at the moment. What do you make of that? Very quickly, your last thoughts on the MP signing the book on 84 on the genocide.
I'll just give a few views on it. The people who are leading that political stuff, I think it's the Sikh Network and Sikh Federation. And if they're trying their best, then fair be it. At least they're trying, and they galvanising support from the likes of people like Sarah Champion, who's an MP, and she's also come to this Gurdwara, and she stood in solidarity with the grooming gangs that target our sisters in the UK. And genuine MPs who are standing by the truth and trying to support Sikhs in their masale, fair play to them. That's what I say.
Again, I'm not one to trash anybody's efforts. So I don't really have faith in MPs. I don't have faith in the British government. We're basically asking one government to go and approach, who really don't really care that much about us, to approach another government who organised and covered up our genocide to go and investigate itself. To me, I think it's kind of... we're just banging our head against the wall there. But at the same time, we need to exhaust all avenues. And if that's one of the avenues, it's not an avenue that I would pursue. If it's an avenue that there's Singhs pursuing, then they can do that. I have no faith in that system. It's just a sad state of affairs where the people that used to deliver justice to the world are now having to beg from it from different governments. But like I said, if there's certain avenues that you have to follow and exhaust, we have to do that. There's also other avenues that we need to follow. And sometimes that's to do with Khalsa tradition. And I think just to quickly touch upon psyche, like Kam's, a lot of the question was centered around why we were carrying Shastra, why Santiji was carrying Shastra. I'll just give you this little pointer. When Baba Sundar Singh, who was one of the Damdami Taksal Jathedars, when he found out that one of the Mughal emperors, I think it was Ahmed Shah Abdali or one of them, he was plotting to blow Harmandir Sahib up with gunpowder. Now what Baba Sundar Singh done was, he fortified Harmandir Sahib. He took about 50 of his Singhs and he fortified Harmandir Sahib, and he fought to the last man to defend Harmandir Sahib. When Baba Banda Singh was in Gurdasnagar in the fort, it took 9 months for the Mughals to penetrate Baba Banda Singh Bahadur's fort. There's only a handful of Sikh. They were reduced to eating the barks of the trees to stay alive. There have been countless attacks on Harmandir Sahib. Some haven't been even recorded in history. Some of the defenders of the faith haven't been recorded in history. They've just gone down as martyrs that nobody's ever known about. Their songs won't be sung like Santaji's would. But this is the thing here. In each attack of Harmandir Sahib, there's one big difference to the one in 1984. Even though they've been recorded attacks on Harmandir Sahib, they've been unrecorded, they've been countless. But 1984 stands alone, and I'll tell you why. Not because it was done in our era, not because there was tanks, not because there was jet bombers. It was the first time in Sikh history that Sikh themselves questioned what was that defender doing in Harmandir Sahib. The first time. Not one person in Sikh history said, Baba Sundar Singh, what was he doing fortifying Harmandir Sahib? They may not have had the courage. They may not have had the courage to stand with him, but not one person questioned him. In fact, they sung his praises. They told their kids, do you know Baba Sundar Singh, look how he defended Harmandir Sahib. Baba Gurbakh Singh. They said, look at Baba Banda Singh Bahadur. Took the Mughals 9 months to penetrate his fort. Not once in Sikh history. This represents some of the poison that's entering our mind. The poison that's entered our food chain, the poison that's entered our milk and our water in Punjab has started to seep in our mindset. And we now ourselves are asking, what was our man doing defending Harmandir Sahib? That's the biggest difference that we've seen in these attacks.
I think you've ended it with a pretty big question to ask the Sangat directly. Asa Sangat had a time with him, Maafi mangde hai gaya. Thanks to the panel that attended today for all their thingy. I apologise for I've not been able to answer all the questions that are coming through. Even now, people are still texting, so we may have to do another show on this at some point and talk about this. And it's a very poignant question. Like I said at the start and during the show, at no point can we advocate violence or the use of weapons any way. Or any point. At the same time, peaceful methods that are being used. For example, one of the questions I asked with regards to genocide, remembrance book that was being signed, and encouraging and making more awareness on that. Ways that could go forward. These are the things that we need to be asking. What else can we do and what we can't do? But apart from that, Jay, ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਕੁਝ ਗਲਤ ਕਹਿ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਾਫੀ ਮੰਗਦੇ ਹਾਂ. I want to say thanks to the panel one more time. Sikhs, very peaceful faith and always promoting peace. You want to just tell us something about your tournament before I end?
Okay, just before we finish off the youth show, next Sunday the 17th, obviously we're still remembering the whole of June. We always remember 1984. Not that we don't all year round, but June is a very sacred month for the Sikhs, because that's when the attacks took place. So June the 17th, Sunday, June the 17th, there's an annual Shahidi tournament. It's the 5th year, and we're doing the live draw this Saturday at 9 o'clock on the Sikh channel. So make sure you all tune in. The draw will be live, and then you'll find out which groups and which teams are playing against and competing against who. I don't know if the Sikh channel team have entered yet, and I think they wanted to play another media station, but I won't say that now, I'm joking. Next Sunday, the 17th of June, please try and attend. It's at Willing Hall, Banks Sports Soccer Club, Soccer Hub. Make sure you attend. It's a Sikh tournament which we try and empower all young boys, young girls to enter. We've got 6 female teams already, which is fantastic, and we've got a lot of young teams. And the adult section's very, very competitive. So if you haven't signed up, you still got a couple of days left to register your teams. Please do try and enter. But if you don't, it's a nice family day, so we want everyone there. We've got a Liverpool a legend coming down, Alan Kennedy, who's coming to support and hand out the trophies on the day as well. So try and attend, come and show your support. The tournament's been going 5 years, so we'll appreciate all the media that will be there, including Sikh Channel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sangthor, there's quite a bit of a movement going on social media. I don't want to plug myself in because I think I'm already plugged in as high as the sky, like everybody's laughing. Please join me on social media. Just Google for Bobby Singh. Join me on LinkedIn, which is a professional network. Just search for Bobby Singh. It'll be there, page 1, Google. Join me. I want to see you guys step up and take the stage. Because a few days ago, I was nobody. I consider myself to be an absolute nobody. But I think there's massive seva that the youth are ready to do, but nobody's giving them the stage. I really want you guys to come and join me and just make this movement. This was just a few LED screens which has stirred up the reaction, and it's amazing reaction. Imagine if you guys all come together and you start giving this Jardikala thinking and the process behind it. We have a lot of work to do. So come, join the movement. And this is all about love and happiness. That's it.
Yeah, Sasagiri, ਅਸੀਂ ਮਾਫੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ live at Guru Nanak Gurdwara. Thanks to all the team here. Thanks to the gallery at the back and the cameraman Kashmir Singh. Got so many texts coming through, it's unbelievable. But I don't know. We have to go live. If you want, we could. By all means, we could go live on Facebook if we want, because there's so many questions coming through. But times I know it's one more. So we'll continue that on the Facebook. We'll see, ask them directly. Thank you so much for your time. It's all about working together, and regardless of what other people's views are, it's about sitting and understanding what everyone's saying and going forward. Finding that process, a peaceful way of all reconciliation, of sitting, getting things sorted, because it's something that needs to be talked about. And I think that where Saab ended it is one of the biggest points. In the first time in his Sikh history, 84 has been such a contentious issue in regards to people either siding on one side, why Sanjay Singh was there, to the other, why Sant Jarnail Singh wasn't there in the respect of what would you do if they wasn't there? So there's obviously two sides of this massive debate, and it has got the community on either side. So it is a thing that we need to be talked about. It needs to be debated. It needs to be addressed, so everybody knows what the situation is. मेरे वालों जे अशी कुछ गलत कहता ਅਸੀਂ माफी मांगते हैं. Apart from the panel here, we'll see you guys on Sunday night at 8 o'clock. वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की